So many of you have probably already heard, about a month ago, Star Wars officially killed off the expanded universe. Disney, the new owner of everything Star Wars, decided with the new movies coming out that they shouldn't be beholden to all the expanded universe material that has been written after Return of the Jedi. It would really put a hindrance on their movies. So all that stuff is no longer official Star Wars canon. And you might be asking, Kyle, you're such a big Star Wars fan, especially with the Star Wars books. You've done a lot of videos on this channel, on Reread Books, on Project Nerdy about the Star Wars expanded universe. Why did it take you a month to do this video? Main reasons, after the announcement was made, I really decided, initially I thought I'm going to make a video that day, but I thought, oh, let's wait a second. Let my emotions calm down a little bit. Let me have some time to think about it. You know, think about the positives, think about the negatives, all that stuff. And once you kind of have a chance to digest this news a little bit, then, you know, let's do your reaction video then. So I think after a month I've had a time to think about it a little bit, stew it over a little bit, and this is my reaction to basically the Star Wars Expanded Universe being killed off. And so before I get into that, I'll basically recap the announcement. Basically what they decided to do, now the only official canon for Star Wars is the movies episode 1 through 6 and the cartoon series, The Clone Wars. From now on, all the new books they'll put out will be Star Wars canon. But basically all the old material outside the movies and the cartoon series have been thrown out. They'll now be published under the title Star Wars Legends, so they'll still keep them in print, but they're basically not going to put any new material out to go along with those series. So basically, like the last Star Wars books that was written, you know, it didn't matter if there was, you know, a cliffhanger or anything, they're done with that. They're not putting out any new material in that expanded universe. That expanded universe is dead now. It'll still be a print, you can still find the book, but no new material in it. This was the basically announcement I've been dreading since Disney bought Star Wars. Check out this video I did on Project Nerdy to my reaction to Disney buying Star Wars. And at the time I saw there were some positives and negatives. This was the negative I feared. I feared they were just going to kill off the expanded universe. My dream scenario was that the new movies would be based on some of the books, specifically Heir to the Empire, which is the best Star Wars book ever written. A lot of times when you see top 100 sci-fi books of all time, Heir to the Empire makes that list. It's an awesome book. The Thrawn trilogy would have made a great premise for the movies. I did not figure it would happen, but that was my dream scenario. Slightly beneath that, what I really hoped was happen, I kind of knew they wouldn't base the movies on the books, but what I was hoping is basically they would start having two basically official canon. There would be movie official canon and book official canon. They would keep the two worlds separate. And that's not uncommon. Think of a lot of stuff out there where there's multiple versions of official canon. You know, several comic book series do that. Probably some of the best examples movie-wise would be Batman. Think, you know, every 3 or 4 movies they basically restart the Batman series, and you know, now there'll be, you know, Christopher Nolan's trilogy, but his movies really won't go along with all the other, you know, Batman movies. Think of, like, you know, the Batman movies from the 80s and 90s. Those don't go along with Christopher Nolan's version of Batman. There's different canon for Batman. So I was hoping Star Wars would kind of adopt that model of having multiple canon. Sadly, they did not decide to go that route, and they basically threw out everything, which I think anybody that was a huge fan of the books has to find extremely disappointing. I mean, people have invested 10, 15 years reading all those books. I've read 60, 70, 80s books. There's a lot of people that have read even more than that. You basically felt like, you know, you really invested a lot of passion, time, money into these characters. You love these characters. You love these storylines. You know, they've always been official. And then suddenly, it's like somebody's like, you know, all that stuff you read and you really loved, that stuff, you know, doesn't really count anymore. You know, forget it. We're still going to let you keep the books, but, you know, it's no longer official. It's basically kind of like glorified fan fiction, which, you know, to me is somewhat insulting, that they basically decided almost to try to wipe it from the map. And I didn't really care much for, you know, well, these now are going to be published with the Star Wars Legends thing. I really don't know how much longer they'll keep the books in print. It wouldn't surprise me 3, 4, 5 years now. Most of the books you'll find a hard time getting. I think books like Heir of the Empire that are really, really popular, you'll be able to find this book. But a lot of the other books in this, that have been published in the Expanded Universe, I think within a few years you'll have a hard time finding new copies of them. I think they're slowly going to phase those out. And you only will see the new Star Wars books that are official canon. So I'm really sad to see a lot of the characters that I love, people like Thrawn, Mara Jade, all the kids that were, you know, the second generation of Star Wars characters that came about through the Expanded Universe, all the events, battles, you know, marriages, children, all that stuff no longer exists. I'm so sad to see that go. One thing they did say in the announcement is that you might see some characters who were created in the Expanded Universe might make it into movies, but they're not going to follow the exact same storyline. So I'm hoping that you will find some of the more popular Expanded Universe characters will find a new life in the movies, but even then it still won't be quite the same. So I'm, you know, keeping a small hope that maybe in a couple years maybe they'll change their mind, especially maybe if the new Star Wars books aren't doing well and they're trying to look for ways to maybe, you know, re-energize that element of Star Wars. Then maybe they'll bring the Expanded Universe back and be willing to have two, you know, basically worlds of official canon, the movies and the books. But for now, I'm one sad Star Wars book nerd. I'm really gonna miss reading about all those characters. So definitely I'm one that was not a fan of the announcement that basically the Star Wars Expanded Universe has been killed off. But while the books are still out there, I'd strongly encourage anybody to go out there and read them. They're great, even though you know, Disney and Lucas are basically trying to throw the books out. Still read them; they're great. Show your support for the authors who did these books. Who knows? Maybe if these books still keep on selling great, maybe they'll force Disney and Lucas to reevaluate the decision they made. I've did several reviews on Reread Books and Project Nerdy relating to the Star Wars Expanded Universe books, so be sure to check both those channels out and you'll find lots of reviews I've been on there. So with that out of the way, can't really think of anything else to say. If you have any reactions to this news, let me know in the comment section below, positive or negative. I know some people are fine with this decision, even people that are really into the book. So if you have a reaction to this news from the basically Expanded Universe being thrown out, just let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. I know this is a little bit of a long and rambling video, but I felt like I finally had to get this out there and get it off my chest. So this is me getting all this frustration off my chest. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you the next time.